Hi, this is Sherri Kimes. I'm sorry I'm not able to be there with you, but my internet's been down maybe 2.5 days. And I've been doing a lot of research on restaurants and looking at pricing and distribution. And today I just want to focus in on restaurant distribution because it's so similar to the hotel industry and some of the lessons that can be learned and also some things we might be able to learn from them. And so I'll talk first about restaurant industry distribution, the hotel distribution, which you know better than I do probably, and then the lessons learned. And with restaurant distribution, what's really interesting with this is how quickly it's growing. I mean, and why? I mean, and yes, you could say, okay, it grew a lot because of COVID. That's not just it. I mean, people, it was already growing. Look back here in 2017 and 2019. COVID helped it, but why is this growing? Well, customers love it. It's just like with OTAs. It's just something that's so convenient for customers. And then there's some major third-party providers, again, very similar, right? And the restaurants hate it because the commission is about 25 to 30%. Sound familiar, doesn't it? And the global delivery market, it's really been it's worldwide. I mean, it's in Asia, it's in Europe, it's in the U.S., and you can see how this has been growing and expected to grow over the next 5 years. And again, the reasons people are ordering, and this is a research I've done both in Singapore and in the U.S., convenience. They don't want to go out. I don't want to cook. And in the US, this was a study done by the National Restaurant Association. Look at this 54% of adults say delivery and takeout are essential to their lifestyle. And 60% of people say that they order delivery and takeout more than pre pandemic. Is this a short term trend? I don't think so. And this is something that you should be aware of with your hotels. And so some of the major providers, so you can see like in Singapore, you're going to have Grab and Food Panda and Deliveroo. In China, Meituan. In the US, it's DoorDash and Uber Eats. Grubhub, not so much. There's Postmates. There's a variety of them depending on where you are. And again, the different things that restaurant operators can do, the cost of commission. There's a big move afoot right now to try to get direct orders. Again, sound familiar? And this has been kind of like ours. Not so. I mean, it works sometimes, not so much. The loss of control. This is something that's really an issue for restaurants that we don't have in hotels. Is that somebody else is delivering the food? It would be like if we had gig workers to do our housekeeping for us. So they could do some self-delivery, but the problem with this is that they would have to hire the people and have all of the vehicles to be able to deliver the food. And then this is also having a huge impact on their operations. And with this one, I mean, they basically have all of the demand comes in for delivery and takeaway around the same time as their customers come in. And so many times the kitchen can't handle it, so they have to adapt their operations. Again, much more challenging than what we have in the hotel industry. And so again, this is deja vu all over again. It's so similar to what hotels went through about 20 years ago. And you could see this. I mean, in the lodging industry, the percentage that's grown online, that's been booked online, how it's grown. You could see how the rise of intermediaries has come in and how they've been concentrating. And you could also see here too is that with the lodging share of online revenue booked, it's kind of we've been trying to, get this to come directly to us, but that's kind of leveled off. This is in the US, but in Europe, it's kind of the same. I mean, it's just sort of there. And so again, customers like the convenience of the OTAs, just like they like the convenience of the delivery providers. And so how have hotels tried to adapt? Well, I mean, we've all tried to do direct bookings. Come book with us. It'll be so much better. We've tried to do it with pricing, but then there's the whole issue of rate parity, which, by the way, in the restaurant industry, that's not an issue. And so we've tried to do some things with intermediate rate parity, trying to have fences so that you have to be able to get a specific rate, you have to meet a certain condition, or you have to be a member of a loyalty program, and then also offering the best deal direct. And so we might be throwing some other packages, some other things in that aren't available on the OTA. exactly the same thing starting to happen in the restaurant industry. And so, what can operators learn from this? Well, they're still in the we hate these delivery companies, we hope they'd go away mode, which that's kind of how we've been. I think we've kind of adapted to that and looking at it more as a marketing intermediary rather than as a cost. One of the other things that they've got to be learning at is understanding the fulfillment and the delivery, because this is something, again, it's more challenging for them than it is for the hotel industry because many times they don't do the delivery. And so it's kind of like losing control of your brand. You could offer value for your direct bookings. So if you look at what we do in the hotel industry, restaurants could also start to offer maybe there's special dishes that are available for regular that people who make their booking or make their order direct, those sorts of things, and promoting the brand in any way that they can, just like we do, to try to get customers to order directly from them. And so some of the lessons to be learned, number one, like in the hotel industry, restaurant industry is going to increasingly operate in an online environment. It's going to be faster than what we went through because of the time difference, right? Lesson number two, you're going to see a lot more increased consolidation. And look at this. This is from a Singapore company that's been doing some phenomenal sorts of work with this. And so you could see here's in China, and look at Meituan is now at ELE, me. That's 90% of the 95% of the market. In the US, the same thing's happening with DoorDash and Uber Eats. Again, think of what's happened with OTAs, very similar. Lesson number four, just like in the hotel industry, increased access and development of technology. We're still working on this, particularly with the integration, but there's so much potential. And lesson number five, everybody's kind of trying to get the same customers and keep the same customers. How are we going to do that? It's the same thing for the hotel industry. We're looking at the OTAs. We're trying to battle with other hotels. Same thing in the restaurant industry. And where it comes down to HSMAI and ROC is there's all sorts of opportunities for pricing and revenue management and distribution management. Some of the things that we've learned in the hotel industry have complete applicability to the restaurant side. And so kind of in conclusion, this is a fascinating area for me to study. Things are going to be moving at a faster pace than it has in the hotel industry. Independent restaurants might have some problems, more consolidation, just like we've seen with OTAs, and then looking at the technology, the competition for customers, and then a lot of opportunities for revenue management. And so again, the key thing here is adapting to the changing industry structure. Take a look at what's going on in this field. It's exactly like what we did, but with some differences. And so if you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact me. Here's my email address. And so thank you again. And again, wish I was there with you, and cross your fingers that my internet is up sometime in the near future. Thank you.